Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu sana, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's vlog is a very special one because I am finally taking you through the transformation of my living room. If you've been following me on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts, then you've probably seen bits and pieces of this journey. But today I am showing you everything from the beginning. And when I say from the beginning, I mean from the very beginning. At one point, all I had in this space was a study table and a chair sitting right in the middle of my living room. The curtains I had previously were my sister's, so once I returned them, the living room was completely empty. No curtains, no couch, no carpet, no coffee table, just an empty space waiting to become a home. Over the past few months, I've slowly been putting everything together, one piece at a time, and in this video, I will be showing you exactly how that happened and where we are right now. I hope you enjoy watching this transformation as much as I have enjoyed creating it. If you do, don't forget to give me a like, comment, share, and lastly subscribe if you haven't already, and of course turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any in the future. Now let's get into it. Before we get into the living room, let's start with the kitchen. When I switched units and moved into this apartment, one of the areas that really needed some attention was the kitchen countertops. They were quite stained and worn out, and no matter how much I cleaned them, they just never looked fresh. Since I wasn't ready to make any permanent changes, I decided to go for a temporary fix and picked up some contact paper from China Village. Now, I honestly thought this would be a quick DIY project, but it turned out to be a little trickier than I expected. Thankfully, my caretaker helped me out, and together we got it done. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's not a permanent solution, but it makes the kitchen look more cleaner and more put together. I mean, I can now roll my chapatis on the countertop without feeling the ick. Now that the kitchen was looking much better, it was finally time to get curtains. I headed to Easily because honestly, that's one of the best places to shop for curtains, and there are so many options to choose from. I already had a vision for the kind of aesthetic I wanted, so I spent some time looking around before settling for the ones I love. Now, let me tell you, Mina, curtains are not cheap. I ended up going slightly above my budget, but I convinced myself it would be worth it. The only problem was the measurements were completely off. When I got home and hung them up, they were way too long and dragging all over the floor. And since I wasn't about to make another trip to Easily, I took them down to a local fundi for adjustments. Unfortunately, they came back a little too short, so I had to take them back again. At that point, I was honestly getting frustrated. Thankfully, after one more adjustment, they were finally looking perfect. I absolutely love how the living room curtains turned out. The bedroom curtains, though, didn't quite turn out the way I imagined. For now, I have moved them to the spare room and kept my older bedroom curtains. Maybe I'll replace them in the future, but for now, we are making it work. One lesson I've learned from this whole experience is that if possible, have someone come and take measurements for you, or go with someone who knows exactly what they're doing. It might cost a little more upfront, but it will save you a lot of time, stress, and extra expenses later on. A few days later, it was time for another apartment update. I started the day at the salon getting my hair done, and once I was finished, I headed over to Mirror Deco Furniture to place an order for a coffee table and a TV stand. I already had a pretty good idea of what I wanted, so placing the order was the easy part. The hard part was waiting because, of course, they needed some time to make everything, and I had them customize my TV stand to fit a photo frame of my parents.
Carry on, yeah. It's only a day here. Start out, yeah.
Fast forward to a few days later, and I was finally expecting my next delivery. I spent the morning doing a bit of cleaning and trying to keep myself busy while I waited. At this point, the apartment was slowly but surely starting to come together, and I couldn't wait to see the next piece added to the space.
We used to have each other's playlists. No, no. Used to be each other's best friends. Yeah. And now we we go our separate pathways, but your heart's still in mine. Yeah. And maybe we could try it next week again, but I don't wanna think we're toxic, but who cares? You said that we're over, hands under covers alone this time, but everything I see still reminds me of you. Bag of all your things, the memories of when I kissed you. Remember when we used to say to each other, we belong together, me and you forever. Tell me where you've been, yeah, since our break. I'm sorry that I blamed ya for things you can't control. I've been in a daze. I left my heart out to you so you could see me through. Though you still deserve better, you stick with me, cause everything I see still reminds me of you. Bag of all your things, the memories of when I kissed you. Remember when we used to say to each other, we belong together, me and you forever. We belong together, me and you forever. We belong together, me and you forever. We used to have each other's playlists.
So about the couch, I went to Furniture Center in Kahawa Sukari with my sister and we spent some time trying out different couches, sitting on them, feeling the cushions, looking at different designs and fabrics and trying to imagine what would work best for my space. And let me tell you, choosing a couch is not easy, especially when you do have cats. Apart from wanting something beautiful and cozy, I also had to think about a fabric that would be cat friendly. Our previous couch really suffered. The scratches were very visible and the material would hold on to fur and dirt so easily. So this time I wanted something that would hide scratches, not show dirt easily, and still fit the aesthetic I was going for. I ended up choosing this warm brown beige tone and honestly I absolutely love how it turned out. And today the couch is finally here. Seeing it being brought into the house honestly made me so happy. After months of having an empty living room, my space was starting to feel like home.
Hands under covers alone this time, but everything I see still reminds me of you. Bag of all your things, the memories of when I kissed you. Remember when we used to say to each other, we belong together, me and you forever. Tell me where you've been, yeah, since our break. I'm sorry that I blamed ya for things you can't control. I've been in a daze. I left my heart out to you so you could see me through. Though you still deserve better, you stick with me, cause everything I see still reminds me of you. Bag of all your things, the memories of when I kissed you. Remember when we used to say to each other, we belong together, me and you forever.
The first time I sat on it, pure happiness. Finally being able to watch TV, stretch, relax comfortably, and just enjoy my own space felt so rewarding. I'm honestly just so grateful to see everything slowly coming together one step at a time. Furnishing a house is definitely not cheap, but we thank God one day at a time. Next agenda was the carpet. Let's get the ball rolling. At this point, the curtains had finally been fixed and put back up, and honestly, seeing the couch and the curtains come together made the house feel so cozy already. For the carpet, I headed to Kamukunji and visited a couple of shops looking for something that would match the aesthetic of the house, especially the couch and the curtains. And honestly, I got lucky because I didn't have to walk around for long. I walked into this shop called Carpet Gallery and immediately found some really beautiful options. The customer service was amazing too, so if I find their page, I'll definitely tag them. I did go a little over my budget because I really wanted a neutral tone carpet, but once I found the one, I knew it was worth it. They packed it up for me and they literally had me carry it on my head all the way to the bus station because I was so determined to put this house together. By the time I got home, I couldn't wait to see everything come together. Now, let me tell you, laying down that carpet was not easy because the couch is quite heavy, but I was determined to do it myself because I was so excited. And honestly, it turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love how the carpet complements the couch and the curtains. It just made the whole room feel much warmer and more complete. I'm honestly just so grateful to see everything slowly coming together, one piece at a time. I'm still determined to keep building this little home, even if it's just one step at a time. Now that the carpet is laid, it only makes sense that we now bring in the coffee table and the TV stand. Honestly, if someone had told me that living alone teaches you to celebrate small wins, I don't think I would have fully understood what they meant, but I think I am finally starting to get it. This morning, I'm really excited because my TV stand and coffee table are finally being delivered. At this point, the couch and the carpet are already in place, and these are the last big pieces I need to bring the living room together in terms of furniture. I'm getting my TV stand and coffee table from Mira Deco Furniture. I actually ended up visiting their showroom in person because we weren't really understanding each other over the phone, and I wanted to customize the TV stand to fit a few photo frames I already had. You guys don't even understand how excited I was cleaning this house in preparation for this delivery. I just wanted everything to be ready before they arrived. Before I knew it, there was a knock at the door and the delivery guy had arrived. Let me tell you guys, furaha mpwito mpwito, the excitement I had, I couldn't wait to unwrap the TV stand and the coffee table. The first thing I did was to check that everything was in good condition, making sure there was no dents or scratches and that all the drawers opened and closed properly. One thing I was really excited to confirm was whether my photo frame would fit, and thankfully it fit perfectly. In this moment, I just paused and looked around my living room. I couldn't help but feel grateful because there was a time when having a space like this felt far away, and now little by little it's finally coming together. Every piece in this room reminds me of how far I've come, where I am today, and where I'm trusting God to take me next. The journey hasn't always been easy, but by God's grace we are getting there, one piece at a time. Good morning. Today is Saturday and I'm excited because I have another delivery for my home update. Today we are getting an under sink cabinet. Yes, and if you're wondering why, let me show you why we are actually getting an under sink cabinet. So I'm currently standing at the main door, and when you walk into my apartment, this is one of the very first areas you see straight ahead. One side we have a bathroom, on the other side is the toilet, and right next to the toilet door is this sink. Now, don't get me wrong, it serves its purpose, but I really didn't like how open everything looked. I had that basin underneath and that water bucket holding my toothbrush and my other essentials, and it just wasn't giving clean, organized look I wanted. I do plan on getting a proper toothbrush holder and a shelf for my skincare, but that's a project for another day. For today, we are focusing on giving this little corner a makeover. I started by clearing everything out and giving the whole area a good clean before the cabinet arrived. I'm getting my under cabinet sink from a page called Crafty Glitzy. I actually found them on TikTok under another TikToker who tagged them in one of their videos. I reached out to ask if they could custom make one for me, and honestly I was impressed by how responsive they were. They replied quickly, followed up throughout the process, and kept me updated, which I really appreciated. Since they weren't coming to take measurements themselves, they showed me exactly what they needed, so I bought a tape measure and I got to work. There was a bit of back and forth because I had to retake a few measurements, but eventually I got everything right. This was the inspiration I was going for. I found it on Pinterest, sent it to them, and they were able to create a design showing me how it would look like under my sink before they started making it. I also requested lockable wheels underneath the cabinet so that I could easily pull it out whenever I'm cleaning and slide it back into place afterwards. I was excited when I received the delivery. Unfortunately, it wasn't fitting perfectly at first because it needed a little more carving around the sink pipe, so they took it back to the workshop to make the adjustments. And in less than 3 hours, they were back, and this time it fit perfectly. Honestly, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. It's such a small upgrade, but it has such a big difference. This little corner looks so much cleaner, more organized, and more like the vision I had in mind. And just like that, we have come to the end of this living room update for now. If you've watched all the way to this point, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. It honestly means so much. There's still a few deco pieces and finishing touches I'd love to add over time, but for now, I am genuinely happy with how far this space has come. And so, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to know which part of the transformation was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.